Chapter 6. Barracoon. It was Saturday when next I saw Cudjo. He was gracious, but not too cordial. He picked me peaches and tried to get rid of me quickly, but I hung on. Finally he said, "Didn't I tell you not to come bother me on Saturday? I got to clean the church. Tomorrow's Sunday." "But I came to help you, Clotilda." "You needn't talk if you don't want to." "I thank you come help me. I want you to take me in a car into Mobile. I getting me some turnip seed to plant in the garden." We hurriedly swept and dusted the church. Less than an hour later, the Chevrolet had borne us to Mobile and back. I left him at his gate with a brief goodbye and tackled him again on Monday. He was very warm this day. He glimmered and glinted with light. I must first tell him about the nice white lady in New York who was interested in him. "I want you to write her a letter into New York. Tell her Cudjo say 1,000 times, much obliged. I'm glad she sent you asking me what Cudjo do all the time." I talked about the lady for a few minutes, and my words evidently pleased him, for he said, "I tell you more about Cudjo when he was in the Dahomey. I tell you right. She good to me. You tell her Cudjo like please her. She good to me and Cudjo lonely." They march us in the Dahomey, and I see the house of the king. I can't tell all the times we pass it to get to the place where the king got his house, but I remember we passed the place called Meko, and Ajase. We go in the city where the king's got his house, and they call it Lomi. Either Abomi or Cana. The house the king live in himself, you understand me, it made out of skull bones. Maybe it not made out of the skull, but it looky that way to Cudjo. Oh, Lord. They got the white skull bone on the stick when they come meet us, and the men what march in front of us, they got their fresh head high on the stick. The drum beats so much, looking like the whole world is the drum they beat on. That's the way they fetch us into the place where the king got his house. They place us in the barracoon stockade, and we rest there ourselves. They give us something to eat, but not very much. We stay there 3 days. Then they have a feast. Everybody sing and dance and beat the drum. We stay there not many days. Then they march us to Esoku, the sea. We pass a place called Badagri. Then we come in a place called Dwida. It is called Wida by the whites, but Dwida is the Nigerian pronunciation of the place. When we get into place, they put us in a barracoon behind a big white house, and they feed us some rice. We stayed there in the barracoon 3 weeks. We see many ships in the sea, but we can't see so good, 'cause the white house between us and the sea. The Cudjo see the white man. That's something he ain't never seen before. In the Taco, we hear the talk about the white man, but he don't come there. The barracoon we in ain't the only slave pen at the place. They got plenty of them, but we don't know who the people in the other pens. Sometimes we holler back and forth and find out where each other come from, but each nation in a barracoon by itself. We not so sad now. We all young folks, so we play game and climb up the side the barracoon so we can see what going on outside. When we there 3 weeks, a white man come into barracoon with 2 men of the Dahomey. One man, he a chief of Dahomey, and the other one his word changer. They make everybody stand in a ring, about 10 folks in each ring. The men by theyself, the women by theyself. Then the white man looky. He looky hard at the skin and the feet and the legs and in the mouth. Then he choose. Every time he choose a man, he choose a woman. Every time he take a woman, he take a man too. Therefore, you understand me, he take 130. 65 men. with a woman for each man, that's right. Then the white man go away. I think he go back in the White House. But the people of Dahomey come bring us a lot of grub for us to eat it, 'cause they say we gonna leave there. We eat at a big feast. Then we cry. We sad 'cause we don't want to leave the rest of our people in the barracoon. We all lonesome for our home. We don't know what gonna become of us. We don't want to be put apart from one another. But they come and tie us in the line and lead us round the big White House. Then we see so many ships in the sea. Cudjo see many white men too. They talking with the officers of the Dahomey. We see the white man that buy us. When he see us ready, he say goodbye to the chief and get in his hammock, and they carry him across the river. We walk behind and wade the water. It come up to the neck, and Cudjo think once he gonna drown. But nobody drown, and we come on the land by the sea. The shore is full of boats of minute costs. The boats take something to the ships and fetch something away from the ships. They coming and going all the time. Some boat got white man in it. Some boat got poor African in it. The man that buys, he get in a crew boat and go out to the ship. They take the chain off us and place us in the boats. Cudjo don't know how many boats take us out on the water to the ship. I, in the last boat, go out. They almost leaving me on the shore. But when I see my friend Kitty in the boat, I won't go with him. So I holler. They turn round and take him. When we're ready to leave the crew boat and go in the ship, the minute costs snatch our country cloth off us. We try to save our clothes. We ain't used to be without no clothes on. But they snatch all off us. They say, you get plenty of clothes where you going. Oh, Lord, I so ashamed. We come to America so naked, and the people say we naked savage. They say we don't wear no clothes. They don't know the minute costs snatch our clothes away from us. Soon we get in the ship. They make us lay down in the dark. We stay there 13 days. They don't give us much to eat. We so thirsty. They give us a little bit of water twice a day. Oh, Lord, we so thirsty. The water tastes sour. Footnote: vinegar was usually added to the water to prevent scurvy. End of footnote. On the 13th day, they fetch us on the deck. We so weak we ain't able to walk ourselves. So the crew will take each one and walk round the deck till we get so we can walk ourselves. We're looking and looking and looking and looking, and we don't see nothing but water. Where we come from, we don't know. Where we going, we don't know. The boat we own, called the Clotilda, Cudjo suffers so in that ship, oh Lord. I so scared on the sea. The water, you understand me, it makes so much noise. It growl like the 1,000 beasties in the bush. The wind got so much voice on the water, oh Lord. Sometimes the ship way up in the sky. Sometimes it way down in the bottom of the sea. They say the sea was calm. Cudjo don't know. Seemed like it moved all the time. One day, the color of the water changed, and we see some islands. But we don't come to the show for 70 days. One day we see the color of the water change, and that night we stop by the land. But we don't get off the ship. They send us back down in the ship, and the next morning they bring us the green branch off the tree. So we Africans know we about finished the journey. We been on the water 70 days, and we spend some time lying down in the ship till we tired. But many days we on the deck. Nobody ain't sick, and nobody ain't dead. Captain Bill Foster, a good man. He don't abuse us and treat us mean on the ship. They tell me it'll Sunday us way down in the ship and tell us to keep quiet. Captain Bill Foster, you understand me, he's scared the government folks in Fort Monroe gonna capture the ship. Well, at night, the ship move again. Cudjo didn't know then what they do, but they tell me they towed the ship up the Spanish Creek to 12 Mile Island. They took us off the ship, and we get on another ship. Then they burned the Clotilda 'cause they scared the government gonna arrest them for fetching us away from Africa soil. First, they fed us with some clothes. Then they carried us up the Alabama River and hid us in the swamp. But the mosquitoes, they so bad, they about to eat us up. So they took us to Captain Vern Mayer's place and invited us up. Captain Tim Mayer, he took it 32 of us. Captain Vern's Mayer, he took it 10 couples. Some they sailed up the river in the Barracuda. Captain Bill Foster, he took it to 8 couples. And Captain Jim Mayer, he get it the rest. We very sorry to be parted from one another. We cried for home. We took away from our people. We 70 days crossed the water from the Africa soil, and now they part us from one another. Therefore we cry. We can't help but cry. So we sing. Eh, ye, aye, la na se wu, re re, aye, na na sa horu. Our grief so heavy, look like we can't stand it. I think maybe I die in my sleep when I dream about my mama. Oh, Lord. Clotilda sat silent for a moment. I saw the old sorrow seep away from his eyes, and the present take his place. He looked about him for a moment and then said bluntly, "I'm tired talking now. You go home and come back. If I talk it with you all the time, I can't make him no garden. You won't know too much. You asked us so many questions. That do. That will do, etc. Go on home." I was far from being offended. I merely said, "Well, when can I come again?" I send my grandson and let you know. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. Chapter 7. Slavery. Captain Jim, he took me. He make a place for us to sleep underneath the house. Not on the ground, you understand me. The house, it high off the grounds and got the bricks underneath for the floor. They give us bed and bed cover, but ain't enough to keep us warm. They don't put us to work right away, 'cause we don't understand what they say and how they do. But the others show us how they raise the crop in the field. We are astonished to see the mule behind the plow to pull. Captain Tim and Captain Burns Mayer working their folks hard. They got overseer with the whip. One man tried whipping one of my country women, and they all jumped on him and taking the whip away from him and lash him with it. He don't never try whip African women no more. The work very hard for us to do, 'cause we ain't used to working like that. But we don't grieve about that. We cry 'cause we slave. In that time we cry. We say we born and raised to be free people, and now we slave. We don't know why we bring away from our country to work like this. It's strange to us. Everybody looking at us strange. We want to talk with the other colored folks, but they don't know what we say. Some make it a fun at us. Captain Jim, he a good man. He not like his brother Captain Tim. He don't want his folks knock and beat all the time. He see my shoes get raggedy, you know, and he say, "Cudjo, if that's the best shoes you got, I get you some more." Now that's right. I no tell you lies. He work us hard, you understand me? But he don't work his folks like his brother. They got they 2 plantation, one on the Tennessee River and one on the Alabama River. Oh, Lord, appreciate they free me. We don't have enough bedclothes. We work it so hard. The women's, they're working in the field too. We not in the field much. Captain Jim got 5 boats running from the Mobile to the Montgomery. Oh, Lord, I work it so hard. Every landing, you understand me, I tote wood on the boat. They have the freight, you understand me, and we have to tote that too. Oh, Lord, I'm so tired. No sleeping. The boat leak, and we pump it so hard. They ain't got no railing on the boat, and in the nighttime, if you don't watch it close, you fall overboard and drown yourself. Oh, Lord, I appreciate they free me. Every time the boat stop at the landing, you understand me, the overseer, they whipping boss, he go down the gangplank and stand on the ground. The whip sticky in his belt. He holler, hurry up there, you. Run it fast. Can't you run it no faster than that? You ain't got enough load. Hurry up. He cut you with the whip if you ain't run fast enough to please him. If you don't get a big load, he hit you too. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. 5 years and 6 months I slave. I work it so hard. Look like now I see all the landings. I call all them for you. The first landing, after the Mobile, it's a 21-mile bluff. The next, it's the Chastain. The next, it's the mouth of the Tennessee. Then the 4 guns shorter. Then we pass Tombigbee. Then the next, it's the Montgomery Hill. Then the next, it's Choctaw Bluff. Then the Gametown. Then Tay Creek. Then Annapolis. Then Claremont. Then Low Peachtree. Then Upper Peachtree. Then we come to the White Bluffs, then the Blue Bluffs. The next year after that is the Yellow Jacket. The river, it is shallow there sometime. The boat have to wait for the tide. The next year after that is Cahoba, then Selma, then Bear Landing, then Washington. Then the last place is the Montgomery. I think I remember them, you understand me, but I ain't been there since 1865. Maybe I forget it some. Don't look it like I never forget. I worked so hard and we ain't had nothing to sleep on but the floor. Sometimes the bluff is so high, we got to chunk the wood down to 3 times so it get down where the river is. The steamboat didn't used to burn the coal. It burned the wood. And it uses so much of wood. The war commences, but we don't know about it when it starts. We see the white folks running up and down. They go into Mobile, they come out on the plantation. Then somebody tell me the folks is way up in the north make the war so they free us. I like hear that. Cudjo don't want to be no slave. But we wait and wait. We hear the guns shoot sometime, but nobody don't come tell us we free. So we think maybe they fight about something else. The Yankees, they at Fort Morgan, you understand me. They're there on account of the war, and they don't let nothing come past them. So poor folks, they ain't got no coffee or nothing. We party the rice and make it coffee. Then we ain't got no sugar. So we put the molasses in the coffee. That don't taste so good, you understand me, but nobody can do nothing about it. Captain Jim may send word he don't want us to starve, you understand me, so he tell us to kill hogs. He say the hogs, they his, and we his, and he don't want it no dead folks. Therefore, you know, we killing hogs, but we can't get it nothing. When we at the plantation on Sunday, we so glad we ain't got no work to do. So we dance like in the African soil. The American colored folks, you understand me? They say we savage, and then they laugh at us and don't come say nothing to us. But Free George, you understand me, he, a colored man, don't belong to nobody. His wife, you understand me, she been free long time. So she cooked for a Creole man, and by George, 'cause she married with him. Free George, he come to us and tell us not to dance on Sunday. Then he tell us what Sunday is. We don't know what it is before. Nobody in Africa soil don't tell us about no Sunday. Then we don't dance no more on the Sunday. Know how we get it free? Cudjo tell you that. The boat I own, it in the Mobile. We all on there to go into Montgomery, but Captain Jim Mayer, he not on the boat that day. Cudjo don't know why. I don't forget. At April 12, 1865, the Yankee soldiers, they come down to the boat and eated the mulberries off the trees close to the boat, you understand me? Then they see us on the boat and they say, y'all can't stay there no more, you free. You don't belong to nobody no more. Oh, Lord, I'm so glad. We asked the soldiers where we going. They say they don't know. They told us to go where we feel like going. We ain't no more slave. Thank the Lord. I so appreciate they free me. Some of the men, they owned a steamboat in Montgomery, and they got to come into Mobile and unload the cargo. Then they free too. We ain't got no trunks, so we make it at bundles. We ain't got no house, so somebody telling us come sleep in the section house. We done that till we could get it ourselves someplace to go. Cudjo don't care. He a free man then. Chapter 8. Freedom.